Hello guys, it's time for another 5.4 Triton 3 valve, hopefully not nightmare. Let's see how many miles we got on this thing here. And we're looking at, oh wow, only 181? Okay, I thought it was past 200 by now. I really have no clue what I'm getting into here, so let's just turn the key and see what happens. Oh, did you hear all that rattling? We got a good misfire too. Oh, look at the nice blue smoke out there. Nice big cloud of blue smoke. Sounds like we got an exhaust leak. Yep. Yeah, you can hear those phasers rattling. Not as potent of a rattle anymore, but woo-wee! Yeah, nice big blue cloud of smoke there, and it's definitely misfiring, that is for absolutely sure. I gotta go into four-wheel drive here to get on my lift, so otherwise the truck will just push it across the floor there, so let's go ahead and get it inside here. Doesn't look like the windshield washer fluid's working, but I cleaned it up the best I could with what little mist was on the windshield. I watched the little mirror up there to make sure that I'm pulling on the lift correctly. There we go. Looks like we're lining up good. So come on, Betsy, climb on up, climb on up. There we go. All right. Let's pull some codes here. We definitely know the engine's misfiring. We definitely know it had phaser rattle from a cold start. Let's see what codes we got in here. All right, we have a lean code. We have a cylinder 4 misfire. Ignition coil D, primary circuit, so maybe ignition coil going bad. That could be related to cylinder 4 misfire. Now, one of the things I like to do, especially on a truck like this where I have no clue what the history is or what's going on with it, and being an oil burner, you just never know. I like to do a clear flood, what they call a clear flood compression test. It's basically a quick and easy way to tell if you have a dead cylinder. So I'm going to push the accelerator pedal to the floor, crank the truck. So it sounded like the engine is cranking normally and it's got good compression. Looking around here, you can tell somebody's done some work to it. Radiator looks new. The tensioner there is new. Even looking at the ignition coils here, the ignition coils don't look too bad. In fact, they almost look new. So I'm wondering if maybe somebody didn't like pull a wire loose or break a wire when they were doing ignition coils on it. Who knows? But being an oil burner, I definitely want to check the oil level and make sure that the oil level's good before I go chasing any phaser issues, things like that. Alright, so I'm making my way back to cylinder number 4 here. It's kind of a real pain because it's located way back here on the back of the engine. And I noticed that the plug right here, I noticed it's just loose. It's popping right off. Like it didn't snap in place or anything. So I go up here and look at the front one on cylinder number 1 ignition coil. It's good and tight. And I grab cylinder number 2 ignition coil. It pops right off and the truck starts running even worse. So somebody did some work on this thing. There's dielectric grease on that back one there, like maybe they tried to fix it that way, but I mean, they broke the clips. You can see there's a zip tie here on the connector holding it in place, so that one was probably broken too. And this one's like that too. Look at that. I mean, there's one that has a little clip in it. The next one behind it does, but even this one, look, the little clip is gone. That holds it in place. So now I'm really starting to wonder, okay, who worked on this thing last? What exactly did they do? I'd like to know the story because that could help with our diagnostics here. Okay, so I went back through and replaced all the broken ignition coil connectors with new connectors here. These are ones from Ford, so they come with your crimp connectors, the heat shrink with the little adhesive inside to keep any water and moisture out. You can see a little bit of that adhesive runs out whenever you put these on, and the connector stays firm in place now. So I did one on the driver's side and two in the back passenger side. It's a little difficult to see here, but you can see there's one new connector there, another new connector there. There's lots of extra wire that comes with them, so I just kind of tucked it out of the way. But all the ignition coil connectors are firmly in place now. Here's what the old ones look like. As you can see, they even put dielectric grease on it to try to keep it in place, and these were all broken. Some of them, the little clip was no longer spring-loaded. Others, the little clip, as you can see here, was completely missing. And they had literally taken zip ties and tried to zip tie these to the connector, to the ignition coil. Put dielectric grease in there to try to help it stay in place, but zip ties did not hold on these, as you can see, and they came loose. Now all the fuel injectors have these on them as well. However, the fuel injector clips here, as you can see, the little connectors seem to be holding up much better. And you know, I'm just not going to worry about it for now. I just want to make sure that this takes care of our misfire problem, and that it's nothing more in-depth before I go tearing into all the rest of the connectors. For those of you who want to know, here's the Ford part number for the wiring pigtail kit, as they call it. It's about 30 bucks. It's not cheap, 30 bucks each for these things, but hey, buy a Motorcraft part, at least you know it's going to work and it's going to be right. I've had the battery unplugged, or disconnected rather, took the negative cable off while I was working on it. So that should have pretty much reset everything. We'll see if it cleared the codes from the module. Well, let's start this up. Make sure the misfire is gone. And there's probably still going to be some phaser rattle, because that was definitely evident when we first started it up, and there's probably still going to be an exhaust leak. But let's at least see if we fix the misfire. Contact. So yeah, definite exhaust leak and some phaser rattle on startup, as you heard. But no check engine light, and the engine is smooth. The truck's not shaking and rocking like crazy. Let's see if we've got any codes right off the bat. No codes yet. And we know initially it was setting an ignition coil circuit code. That's no longer in there, so that's good. Give it a little throttle. Yeah, it's definitely not misfiring anymore. Alright, so I just finished a test drive. Good power, no misfires, even when the torque converter locks. Truck doesn't shake or anything. But as you can tell here, if I give the truck a little throttle and get it around that 900 RPM range, you can hear the truck start to rattle a little bit. You can just feel the whole valve cover here and the top of the cylinder head vibrating and rattling. So we know that noise is definitely in the timing components. My wife doing an excellent job keeping the tachometer steady right where I needed it. until I started taking this video of her. Great job. You can shut it off.